The advantage of growing up in an incredibly isolating way. So I had the most wonderful life until just before I was 6. I was born incredibly premature and I was absolutely mollycoddled. I was 500 grams. And my mother was probably quite guilt-ridden of the challenges that I would have to face in this world as being such an extreme premature baby. I look on the bright side and I say, well, when I was born, I was in the newspapers, it's a medical miracle, and it took me but 19 years to get back in the newspapers. I've stayed there since, so I look at the positive of it. But my mother and grandmother were killed by a drunk driver when I was just before my 6th birthday, so when I was 5. I always say when I was 6, because when you're 5, you always say I'm 6. You know, when you're about to be 6, you go up. But technically I was still 5. And thereafter, my family kind of fell into silence. And my brother and sister were incredibly high achievers. And so I grew up essentially coming home into an empty house. Incredibly dyslexic. So I couldn't really read or anything. And there was really nothing to do. And I was just in this vacuum, and I spent years in this state of complete vacuum, of silence. And my mother had been incredibly strong with languages. She could speak ancient Greek, she could speak Hebrew, English, Afrikaans. I don't know all what she spoke, but she was a linguist. And I think that she had trained me in language at such a young age, and that's what unlocked my future. Because if you can take a word and unpack a word, there's so much meaning to be found. And I developed what one would say is photographic hearing. And so I'd go to school and I'd hear stuff and I'd come home and I'd just mull over it. And I'd just sit, mull. And to this day it's an incredibly powerful tool, because when I was 17 I went and visited David Slabowski, a famous potter. And he explained to me, as a 17-year-old, you know, you walking around gawking. And so he explained to me his entire process, including a very, very technically important trade secret. I can still play the conversation back in my head today. You know, and that's half a lifetime ago for me. And so that's been an incredible advantage. And that's my talk. I mean, my talk is very simple. I chose 11 words that hopefully will set you free.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the clip.